Guys, welcome to another move by move episode where I play rapid games and explain you my thinking process throughout it. So let's find our first opponent. Alright, opponent from US. Free-skier Dingo plays e4, we respond with c5, plays knight c3, so he's inviting us to play close c2, so there are multiple moves. One of them is knight c6, I can play g6, but I usually respond with d6. So there are a lot of ways to play against it, and he plays the most aggressive one, which is f4. Now once again there are multiple approaches. G6 is probably what I'm gonna play. There is knight c6 right away, basically taking care of d4 square. I'm just trying to, put little pressure here on d4. I'm interested what's his, let's say, that's actually quite typical maneuver. Plays bishop b5 to provoke this bishop d7 move, and now goes back to c4, creating threats against f7 pawn. So one of the plans black have here is just simply play e6. White, meanwhile, will try to play castle and play f5. So he plays d3, I'll play knight e7. My idea at some point is to play f5 myself. So we're not really rushing with the castle as of right now, so I want to play maybe knight c6. I kind of dislike this move, and then e5, so I'm not sure if this is a good approach, but I want to play a6 just to avoid these problems. And after a4, you see I was also threatening b5, so that was kind of double sense move. I wanted to basically prevent white from going knight b5 and also try to push b5 myself. So now I think knight c6 is what's gonna be good for me. He doesn't spend a lot of time right now, I'm the one thinking, but I'm also trying to explain you what people do in the following positions. So plays bishop d2, one of the main moves is to play bishop b3 actually. So I wanna actually see, so usually here black put knight to the center. And yeah, now he trades, and there are multiple things. So I can play c takes d4 and then maybe try to go for d5, which is actually, doesn't... So the point of bishop d4, guys, is that after king h1, I actually have, because white wanna play king h1 at some point, so it doesn't really do anything bad. But after c takes d4, even though I lock my bishop, I have this d5 ideas, which I'm gonna play. And also after takes, let's say I have full control over f5. So this makes my play a lot easier. And I can even play, let's say bishop goes to b3, I can play bishop e6 and try and go for knight f5, knight d3. Because if I castle right away, I think there is this move, and f5 is what kind of bothers me. But if I play bishop e6, but still, it's still a move which will bother me a lot, I guess. I think queen d7, so this sounds like a reasonable plan. There are some ideas with bishop b4 and just capturing this knight and somehow creating threats on king side, but I think, so all plans here for white should be to play maybe h3, g4 and trying to push f5. For me, meanwhile, of course h3 is the move I kinda worry about, but I think queen d7, castle, I gotta have control over f5. If he doesn't have play, look, knight on e2 is passive, guys. Yeah, I mean, my bishop on g7, I don't like it either, but it's not that bad. Bishop b4, it's nothing, but my ideas might be good, because knight f5, knight f3, creating threats against it. Maybe knight f5, h5, maybe h5 should be included first to prevent any g4 ideas, and then play knight f5. So this is another thing I should, think about, because let's say I want to play queen d7 and then play h5 and only then place my knight to f5. He plays f5 himself. He's like, I'm tired of you, Romka, so I'll play this. Alright, knight f5, and now I'm saying that, alright, I took a pawn. I don't really care about this knight jumping here, because in my opinion, after castle, knight d6 takes, I am in full control of this game. Because, alright, g4, I can even sacrifice it back, because I'll open my bishop on this long diagonal. So one of the ways to play here with white pieces, yeah, he plays it, but guys, once again, like, this bishop is, pointing towards the c6 e5, unless I blunder this one. he won't take it back. So I gotta be very careful, because now look, I want to keep all the material I have on the board. So queen d7 looks like a move. You know what white might have as an idea? Queen d7, a5. And the idea of a5 is, you know, let's say queen d7, a5, the idea of a5 is simple. If I play rook e8, bishop a4, he takes an exchange. So that's why, you know, I want to play maybe even queen d6 or a5 myself. Of course, not right now, but, you know, might be one of the plans. But queen d6, I don't like it because of bishop f4. Let's say queen d7, and there is like a little bishop e5. But even then, I have this maneuver queen d6, bishop f4, I have e5, and then let's say king h8. So, okay, queen d6 looks like a move that doesn't look too bad. I have 6 minutes 23 seconds on the clock. Once again, it's not an easy position to play. Because you know what happens after e5, like e5, this bishop is too good. I mean, if I let white take on d5, I mean, I might as well just resign, because I'll collapse. So it's very important not to blunder stupid things here, and maybe at some point I'll have to do it. And maybe king h8 is one of the moves, just to, you know, maybe avoid some captures on basically e6 with check. So now I gotta think of different ideas here. Yeah, he plays this way, and this is where I was thinking of bishop e3 actually, because it doesn't look that bad, guys. Like, he has a weak king, he has a much weaker king than I have. So takes, and yeah, I mean, this is, he has pressure, some pressure here, a lot of pressure here. e5 myself is kind of bad, it looks bad. Bishop b2, meanwhile, queen e6, I just allowed this to happen. I want to keep this on the board. So one of the ways is of course e5, but I just don't like potential, you know, troubles with all of this pawns. And yeah, just, you know, I wish I could play something like this. So e5 might be the way, and then rook f4. But it's like very, very complicated. Rook e8 on the other hand allows white to take control over f-file, so I'd rather play e5. No, queen f4, I might blunder pawns in some lines, but at least I'm still in the game and trying to fight for a win, even though it becomes more and more complicated. Queen a4 actually, I think, might lose the game due to some queen b6 ideas, and after g4 there is queen b3. So I mean, still white gotta be careful with how they pin this pawn, because they can't pin it from here, they can't pin it from there, but queen b6 looks very promising. I mean, queen f3 kind of saves the day for white, but then, you know, might be some tactics. But let's see, I mean, I can just always just come back, you know, repeat moves once. So yeah, but queen f4, I would really love for him to play it, because queen b6 is now being prepared. So let's see what he will come up with, because it's not that, you know, easy here, because he's still kind of worried about his king probably. Rook f4 might be the idea to be played, because then, you know, bishop h6, rook g4 and stuff. So, you know, I might create threats here still, and we're getting kind of equal on time, so that's another very, very huge thing for me. He is a lot higher rated than me in Rapid, but I don't play Rapid that much, so that's where I have this little advantage, I guess. But let's see. Once again, guys, it's a very interesting, complicated game here. So I just really love that I'm having it, and that's exactly what I wanted. Queen b6 now has to go back, and then I have to probably think of either back or back. Yeah, queen d6, queen e4, and then maybe trying to go for rook d8. Oh, but now queen b3 and I just win, no? I think it is a win. Because now what happens is, he just blundered. He got into my trap and he blundered. Alright guys, let's now go do the analysis stuff. I think it was very, very interesting game to, like, you know, to analyze. for analysis, like it's exactly what we need. So I played G6, as you can see, all the book's moves. I want to see where I kind of made the first. So yeah, E6, I guess. Knight C6 is the main line, but alright. E6 is not that bad. D3, Knight E7. So as I was referring to, F5 here is sometimes being played, and the best move according to computer here is to go castle. Let's say takes. Actually, white have advantage because now F file is being opened, bishop is active, knight potentially active. Like there might be a lot of troubles. Like if black don't know how to respond, they might find themselves in a huge trouble. But I was kind of lucky my opponent goes for castle, and A6 is actually a mistake, as I actually supposed it would be. Yeah, I planned to go knight C6, and I didn't like this move because I was calculating this, but I can't say I didn't like this move, but it just looked weird to me. So computer says F5 here, and alright, plays more or less equal, but it becomes kind of complicated. A6, as I said, I was trying to play B5, and here once again white could have striken with F5. The idea of F is now simple. I mean, you have your rook on F file, and now this should work out perfectly. Knight G5, H6. There is knight F7, king F7, e takes F5. By the way, guys, this, how it's called, Grand Prix variation for white pieces is a very, wild, poisoned devil opening. So, I'm not sure, let me know in the comments if you want me to create kind of maybe opening series on that, because, you can play it with white pieces and actually get great results with it. So, let me know. As you can see, I didn't play well, like knight bc6. Of course, if black can play all the theory like moves, they are fine, but as you can see, even I don't know like everything, so it's complicated. Knight bc6, bishop d2. He didn't really find a way to play f5, and he found himself in trouble. Takes once again, and this is the moment I was referring to like as well, because after bishop d4, now king h1, computer says bishop c6, and I try to push d5, and it makes a lot of sense. But I had a lot of previous experience in this lines, and sometimes computer thinks c takes d4 is the best move after knight to d5, and now only thing I wasn't worried about is this f5 square, because now I have ideas of just going h5 bishop f5 and just to get this f5 square to myself, instead of basically white trying to push this pawn, because if they push again, might get in trouble. Bishop b3, bishop e6, blunder. I was worried about this knight g3 moves, which is actually the best option according to computer, but alright, bishop e6, f5. And after knight f5, I actually have an advantage. So he was delaying this f5 moment, and he played it where it was probably the worst possible push. So knight f4, obviously he was trying to get to e6, castle, takes, queen e2, queen d6, once again, queen d6 or queen b6. Well, I mean, queen b6, I can't really understand the idea, because a5, and alright, computer wants to play queen c6, but again, guys, I just don't really like it. e5 takes, which is kind of wild to play it. You give this e8, crucial e8 square to basically white pieces. So if I want to play rook e8, it's no longer possible. But apparently I have this 93 little trick, because basically what happens is, let's say there's bishop d4 in the end of the line. But alright, queen d6, I thought it would be the best option for me to go for. Rook a1, of course, attacking it, rook 8, g4, and now I basically have to play this knight f3 move. Takes, and after queen f3 the position is equal. Play d5, and here, computer says d4 is the best approach, and after takes, queen e6, takes. The idea here is simple. Basically, I have a lot of weaknesses on queen side, so eventually white would have taken some of them and probably would have easily drawn the game, and actually they might be the ones who will push for a win. But I was lucky that, as I said, queen e4, trying to pin my pawn here, and I wanted to go for repetition and then see what he can do, but he thought of queen f4 for too long. I was like, queen b6 is a trick that's worth a try. And here, instead of playing queen f3, which is the only move which makes a draw here, because basically he loses due to queen b3 tactics, he played king h1, which of course allows me to play queen b3, brilliant move, and he immediately resigned. I mean, it's definitely a fun game. He shouldn't have blundered that. So basically, I'm remaining up a piece. That's, you know, that's good that bishop is on b3, you know, attacking d5, because now queen d5 is not possible. There are no more checks that can save the queen, and of course after trade I have an extra bishop in the endgame, which would result in my win. So guys, we're sitting at 22-63 after 12 episodes of this series. I hope you're enjoying it. I hope you are learning things. Once again, any suggestions in the comment section below would really help me. I really appreciate every single comment you leave there, so please let me know what you want to see, maybe specific openings. I'll try, but of course I'm trying, you know, to teach you based on my repertoire. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.